Hello, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a customizable loading screen in Stormworks using the LUA Script. So I'm just going to go and show you how it works. It just turns on, shows you image or text, whatever you want to put up there, and then it loads the bar up, and then it switches to whatever microcontroller you hook up to it. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm just going to show you how to build it. So we're going to go into the microcontroller editor. We're going to go ahead and just have a video output, and then we're just going to name it monitor. And then we're going to have video input, name it LUA screen input, on and off input, activate loading screen, on, whatever you want. And then a 3x1 microcontroller should fit it all. Just go ahead and put it on there. You can make a symbol if you want, don't really need to. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to have our activate loading screen over here. Then we're going to go ahead and get a blinker. This is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and set it to 1 and 1 for right now. We're going to go ahead and adjust this later. Go ahead and get a knot. Go and put this right here. Now we're going to connect this up to both, and then we're going to get an up and down counter. Now using this up and down counter, we're going to connect the up to the blinker, my bad. We're going to connect the knot to the reset, and then we're going to get multiply. Now to multiply it, what we're going to do is we're just going to connect this up here, and then we're going to get a constant on. And we're going to put this up here, connect it and set it to 100. There we go. Now we're going to get another constant on down here. Sorry, another constant number. I keep calling them constant on. I apologize for that. We're going to get an equal. I'm going to put this down right here. We're going to connect that to that constant number. We need the constant number to be set to 1. And then we need the a on the equal to be connected to the multiply. And then after that, what we're going to go ahead and do is get another constant number. This one's going to be set to 255. And then we're going to get a switch box. I'm going to connect the switch box switch signal to the a and b, a equals b from the equal. And then the constant value needs to be set to off. Now we're going to go and put a LUA script down. We're going to go ahead and connect up the LUA screen input to that. And then we're going to go ahead and get a composite right, and we're going to get numbers. Composite right number. We're going to set it to a channel count of 2. We're going to connect it up to our microcontroller, set the numerical switch box to input 2, and then the multiply to input 1. Oh, and we connected the equal to the multiply instead of the up and down counter. This should not be connected to the multiply, it should be connected to the up and down counter. And now we have that connected to there, we can connect the monitor up to this one. And now we have all the logic done, we just need to configure the settings. Now, for the blinker, this is going to be your loading bar. As you notice in the beginning of the video, mine had a bit of stagger to it. It'd go forward, mine went forward, it progressed, the loading bar progressed for 0.2 seconds before it took a 0.4 second break. This is just to simulate how a real loading bar would work, where it stops and starts. You can adjust this. If you want it to stop for longer, you can raise this number. If you want it to stop for less time, you can lower this. If you want to stop, if you want it to go for less time, you can lower this, or you can raise it. 0.2 and 0.4 is where I thought was a decent number. That made it look nice and clean and realistic, just like a real loading. Now, go ahead and go to the up and down counter. We want to clamp it. Minimum should be 0, max should be 1. Increment 0, and reset value, increment is 1 and reset value 0. And now we're going to put that into multiply, and then it's just going to go into the composite right, and then the LUA script. Now down here, everything's all set. We don't need to do anything down here. So now in the LUA script, I'm going to go ahead and remove all the comments because I do not like their comments. They're just getting in the way a little bit. Now personally, I'm actually just going to remove this entire thing. Okay, so now that we're in the LUA editor, what we're going to go ahead and do is function. So make sure you erase everything that was here before. We don't want any of it. Function on tick, right? On tick, and then we're going to have just end it right there. Function, we're going to put that in a bit. Now we're just going to have and I go and give it some space here. Value with, sorry, we don't need that at all. Raw value equals input dot get number 1, and then the trans, which is going to be our transparency, is going to equal input dot get number 2. Now we're just going to go ahead and format our raw value string dot format. Then we're going to put quotation marks. We're going to put a percentage sign in there. And we're going to put a decimal, 0f. And then we're going to do a comma, raw value. This is going to remove the decimal from our raw value. That way we have a nice clean whole number. And now we're going to go ahead and delete all this extra space we have. I'm going to go and put a comment, variables, and then underneath that we have value formatting. And then about underneath that, what we're going to go ahead and put down is function on draw, and it's going to be where we draw the actual image. So now we're just going to go ahead and put w equals screen.getWidth and h equals screen.getHeight, just like that. And then we're going to go, oops, did not mean to do that. Just wanted to remove this comment. And then we're just going to have our draw variable. I'm just going to go ahead and name them that. And then underneath that, we're going to go ahead and start drawing our actual stuff. So we need a background. I'm going to go with a white background. So screen.set color. And then we're just going to go ahead and set, it's white, the RGB code for white is 255, 255, 255. And then we're going to want our trans for our transparency. You can set these three numbers to be whatever color you want. If you don't know what an RGB code is, I suggest you look it up. Just search up RGB colors. And then look up RGB color picker, and then it'll allow you to move a cursor around and select a color and decide if you want that or not. And then after that, you always have to have trans though. Always have trans. And then we're gonna go ahead and do screen.drawRectF. Now I'm gonna go and indent this a little bit. Now we're gonna go ahead and do 0, 0, width, and then height as our values. So 0, 0, width, and height, comma. Now W and H are our widths and heights, so keep that in mind. And then after that, what we're going to go ahead and want is screen.setColor. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. We're going to indent this again. I'm going to go ahead and actually comment this as background. And then right here is going to be our actual loading bar. So what we're going to do here is just screen.setColor again. This is the RGB code for orange that I've used here. And the trans always has to be there. So you just get the color that you want your loading bar to be here. And that's going to be screen.setColor 255, 69, and 0 for me. And then trans at the end. Again, set these orange numbers to whatever you want your color to be. And then we're going to go ahead and do if w is equal to 32. Then I'm actually going to go ahead and indent this. So we're just going to go and put an end at the end of this. We're going to want an else in there as well. There you go. Now, the screen draw rect f. Now this is actually a very, very large line here, so I'm actually just going to go and copy and paste it from my other window. Now we have screen.drawRectF, and then the first value is going to be w divided by 2 minus w divided by 2.5, and then height divided by 2, this is our second value, plus height divided by 3, and then we're going to add 1 to that. Then width divided by 1.25 times raw value divided by 100 is going to be our third value, and then our fourth value is just height divided by 13. Now for the next one, you can just go ahead and copy this whole thing right here and paste it. Let me just go ahead and format this a little bit better. And then we're just going to have the same exact thing, except we're going to go ahead and remove e plus 1. And then that's all done. And now what we're going to go ahead and do next, this is our loading bar again. So we're done with that. We're going to go ahead and put this end where it should be to avoid confusion. Now we're going to make the box around the little black box that goes around our loading bar. You can make this whatever color you want, but I would honestly just suggest black or white. If you have a darker background, use white. If you have a lighter background like white, like I do, go ahead and use black. So the RGB code for black is going to be 250 is going to be 000, but we're not to that yet. This is going to be bar frame. I'm just going to call it that. Don't know what else to call it. Screen dot set color. Again, as usual. We're just going to do our RGB codes, which is going to be 0, 0, and 0 for black, and then trans for our transparency. And then we're just going to do the same something similar to last time, and we're just going to do screen dot draw, and this time it's going to be draw line instead of draw rectf. And then this is also a pretty large line as well, so I'm just going to copy it over and show you how to do it. See, my bad. You have screen dot draw line, and then as the first value, you're going to want w divided by 2 minus w divided by 2.5. And then the second value, you're going to want h divided by 2 plus h divided by 3. And then for the third value, w divided by 2 plus w divided by 2.5. And then for the fourth value, it's going to be h divided by 2 plus h divided by 3. Now, just like we've been doing, we're going to go ahead and copy the exact same script below. Except this time, what we're going to go ahead and do is change the 3's, the h divided by 3's, to h divided by 2.5. So this and this is what we needed to change. Now that works. And now we're going to go ahead and do the next thing, which is also a decently long line. This is going to be screen.drawLine, w divided by 2 minus w divided by 2.5, and height divided by 2 plus height divided by 3. And then the third value is going to be w divided by 2 minus w divided by 2.5. And then the fourth value is going to be height divided by 2 plus height divided by 2.5. Now we're just going to do, this is going to be the second, these are going to be the side parts of the bar. So here is going to be the top and the bottom lines, and then here, start here, and then the following line that we're about to write is going to be for the lines on the side. Now we can just copy this again like we've been doing. We can just copy this. It's going to be very similar for this one. The difference here is we're going to change the subtraction symbol here to addition, and we're going to change it here as well. All we needed to do. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is screen. This is going to be drawing our actual percentage of the progress of its loading. Screen dot draw text, and then we're just going to have width divided by 2. I'm actually going to type this one out for you all the way. And minus 2. Sorry, minus width divided by 2.5. The next value is going to be height divided by 2 plus height divided by 3. And then the next value, sorry, height divided by 3 minus 6. Almost missed that. And then the next value is going to be value. And then we're going to have 2 decimals right there. And then a percent symbol. So what this does is these two dots right here show that these are two different values that we're entering here. Make sure that you have the space between the value and the dots and the space between the value and the percentage symbol. Make sure the percentage symbol's in quotes or it will not work. Quotes, or I don't know what these things are called, but those. And now we're going to go ahead and do this. This is the whole non-aesthetic part. We can actually just go ahead and save it, update it. And this would actually work right now. Except we've set our value so outrageously high that it'll just load up instantly. So let's go ahead and fix that so I can actually show you it working. So what we've done is we've set the increment to 1 instead of 0.01. Sorry about that. We can go ahead and just update that, and now it will actually load properly. As you can see, it's loading. Again, you can adjust your timing on that blinker to make it load faster or slower. Okay, so now that we've got that working, below below this comment right here, I'm going to go and write a comment. Below here is going to be aesthetics. So I actually made a little something for this. It just shows the fictional company I made in this game, and it's going to go ahead and just draw this. I'm just going to show you how I made this. So it's just text. It has so if you have a long text that you want to put on it, if it's a super small monitor, the 32 pixel ones, you're going to want to have an if width is equal to 32. Then you want to screen.draw text, and then you're going to want a slightly different value than the other ones to make it fit. But if you're just going to do it on the bigger monitors, you can just do it screen.draw text w divided by 2 minus 27. This is, you kind of need a bit of LUA skill to do this, but you can get it all from help here. You just basically draw lines and text here. And this is actually a pretty cool thing that you can do. This is the customization part right here of this video. Now, I'm going to go and show you. So let's go ahead and apply this really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and get a small monitor as well. 1x1 monitor. Now I'm put this right up here. And if you notice, when we actually use the loading screen, they're going to be slightly different. They're not going to be the same because you cannot display as much on the small screens as you can on the big. So we've written our code specially though, so that way it actually fits, see? On the smaller screens. See, it's abbreviating orange star because I wrote the if there and it's abbreviating, it's changing the size of the bar. That way it fits inside of this tiny little 1 pixel wide area. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much the whole entire video. I'm just going to go over the code a little bit. Anything beyond this point is completely unnecessary, and you can go now. Okay, so I'm going to go into the code now and how it works. Let's go into the script. Here, we're just getting our variables. That's nothing special. Okay, here, right here. So this number, we can set our decimals. Let's say we want 1 decimal. Presented in 1 format. Now, if we go ahead and load it in now, it's going to give us 1 decimal along with the script, along with the, come on, see? We have 1 decimal. But as you can see, it also kind of messes up the value because instead of going to 0, we're going to 100%. You can just go ahead and put a divide on there, though, if you want to do decimals in your percentage, but I honestly think it looks much cleaner, just like that. And then if we come down here, we have our screen.accept colors, which is we're just setting our background here. And then we're going to set the color to orange here. And then this 1x1 screens are 32 by 32, so I'm just grabbing the width. And if the width is 32, it won't fit. So we're just going to go ahead and change the bar to be 1 pixel wide right here. It also just going to be dependent on the monitor size. And this code will actually work on any monitor if you make it exactly how I did. Any monitor in the game, any size. Now we have screen.setColor, and we're just going to be doing the bar frame here. Pretty standard stuff. I don't really think I need to explain this. It's just really complicated, the math in it. That's the thing that's the difficult part about this. That's why I mainly copied and pasted this. I wish I didn't have to, but I'm not going to read every single digit and symbol on my other monitor and input it in here. And then we have a screen that's set color for the aesthetics. And I'm just running if width equals 32 again, just like we did up here, because orange star would not fit if it was 32. So we just abbreviate it to OS if it's 32. And then what we did is we went and just orange star the full thing if it was a good size. And then systems fit on both monitors, so I didn't bother putting this in an if. There's not really anything else to go into on that, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you use this monitor in any creation. The link to this creation, I'm going to go ahead and upload it as a example, and that's going to be on the workshop. I'll go ahead and leave a link to it in the description for you guys to actually check it out and see how it works. And for you guys that aren't really sure about this, composite works through it just fine and everything. Like video, touch, and everything. Touch works fine through it as long as you connect the composites up to the original monitor. And if depending on any microcontroller will also work with it, because this is actually kind of cool how Stormworks does it. It's like a pass-through. It'll get the correct values from the monitors. If you connect it to if you connect it indirectly, to another microcontroller first, it'll get the exact size from there, so its width and its height will still be the correct width and height. So you'll have no problem with sizes of any microcontroller. This thing will work with any microcontroller in the workshop. I can swear to you it will. And it will work just with any size monitor. I actually haven't tested it with the newer monitors, but let me just grab one of the newer monitors, a kind of odd one. Let's go ahead and grab a 1x3 one, and it'll work. I can almost guarantee it to you. If not, it'll just work on the older monitors. Oh, sorry. Didn't connect the power to that one. Again, it has never been tested on these monitors. Orange Star Systems, it works just fine, see? Now, on the newer monitors, unfortunately, it's not designed to go off the height. If you want to use it on a monitor like that, what you can do is you can come into here and you can go into the LUA Script and you can go ahead and set it to if height equals 32. On this one only, you don't really need to modify any of your aesthetics if you don't need to, but if you need to, go ahead, of course. Now, if we come over here, the bar will be the correct width and everything. See? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to this example in the workshop. Have a good day.